Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of the Populi Show. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined by Brendan.
Hi.
Brendan, confirm or deny you are a writer here at Populi?
I confirm that.
Next question, have you ever typed so fast that your keyboard caught on fire? Tell the truth.
No, Josh, that would be dangerous.
Okay, so Brendan is a writer. He's a good writer. Not that fast. This time on the Populi Show, we're going to focus on admissions. We've got a number of admissions-related segments. And then at the end, we've got a few other things that we'll get into as well, a few other bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces? That reminds me of a joke.
Actually,
so Bruce Springsteen
sorry, Brendan. We don't have time for that. We've got a lot of ground to cover. And actually, that reminds me of a joke. Which plant, actually, is the biggest traveler? It's grass because it covers a lot of ground.
I thought we didn't have time for jokes.
We don't, now that you're interrupting me and now that I'm having to respond to you and after I already told a joke. So let's do a quick rundown of everything that we're going to cover today. Our segments today are going to be our new application features, our new inquiry features. We're going to talk a little bit about an upcoming admissions focus session that we have.
With a special guest.
Correct. And that'll be it for admission stuff. And then we'll talk about some new features. We've got a new pass fail and our mandatory pass feature for assignments that we'll get into. And then also our Zoom integration is going to see some changes. New application features. Brendan, this is familiar. Why is this familiar to me? Why do I know it? It seems like we talked about this just recently.
We did. We talked about it on the last episode when they were still in beta. But we're talking about them today because now everybody has them. We've unrolled them to all of our customers, and we're now forcing everybody to use our great new applications.
We're going to have a look at a preview of an application that's been built using some of those features. What am I looking at here?
So first we'll take a look at conditional fields. So this prevents the application from displaying, in this case, dorm-related fields to applicants who aren't looking for on-campus housing. So here, if you select yes, you'll get extra fields.
Gotcha. So if you're not interested in on-campus housing, this doesn't show up, you've got a cleaner display there. Applications also have pages.
Right. So at the bottom of the page, you'll see a little link that says continue, and you can move on to the next page. And then if you go to the bottom of that next page, you can go back to the previous page. Anyway, pages just help you break up the application into more digestible chunks for the applicant.
Okay, so if any of these fields are required, will I be able to move freely like I have been?
Nope.
Great. Advancing to the next page, we have a couple new field types here at the very end. What are we looking at, Brendan?
So first up top there, we're looking at the multiple file upload field. So you can set a number of files that the applicant can upload, and when he's filling out the application, that's what he'll be able to do. Then we've got the signature field, where you can require the applicant to draw their own signature.
Oh, wow. This is great. My signature has never looked better.
That looks spectacular.
And I see that you can also choose to just type in a signature.
Correct.
As well there.
There's also a new field type that applicants can't see because it's hidden. Let's take a look at an in-progress application to take a look at this. So it's basically one of those for office use only sorts of fields.
Gotcha. So then now that I'm logged in as an admin, I could come to this field, click that little edit icon, and then click on whatever I wanted here on this checkbox. And that, I guess, can be any field type basically there. Doesn't have to be a checkbox, but that's what this one is.
It can be a custom field. It can even be a linked field. We're now linking financial aid fields. So if you need to tell the financial aid office something based on the application information, you've got a hidden financial aid field there, and you fill it out, and the financial aid office knows what's going on with this application.
And that's plenty, but is there anything else, Brendan?
Everything that's new is now described in the documentation, which I believe will be linked in the show description down below this video.
Great. And we've got a blog post
Yep.
that covers some of the same stuff as well. And you can look out for anything else that we put out just by watching the notifications within Populi up in the corner. Related to this, we have released a new inquiry form feature. So inquiry forms are now fully customizable.
Wait, we're letting our customers customize their inquiry forms now?
Brendan, you should know about this.
Yeah, I do. I know all about the
Prove to me that you know about it. Allegedly, you wrote a blog post and you've done documentation, etc.
Yeah, well, we added settings.
This is not working, Brendan. Detail, information. The
Okay,
people are
fine.
desperate for it.
Inquiry forms, they now let you add all kinds of fields. Linked fields, conditional fields, headings, text blocks. You can arrange them however you wish. You can add and reorder the fields for maximum information harvesting impact. We think common sense would dictate that you would include fields for name, contact info, a message, academic information like a course of study, but you're really free to do your own thing here. The one thing we didn't add was pages because inquiry forms are meant to be brief, low barrier to entry, make it easy and quick for your school to get a conversation started with an interested student.
Okay, not bad. What about documentation and videos?
The blog post linked below this table has info on the inquiry form and any other documentation and videos we can dig up as well. So look down there.
Okay, swell. Well, that's great.
Sorry, I was only being difficult because you wouldn't let me tell my joke earlier.
It's fine. You have a joke?
Yeah, I do. So
That's
Bruce
great.
Springsteen.
On to the next segment. As you may know, we have focus sessions. These are training sessions that happen over Zoom. They're about an hour long. They take place between a few Populi users and then one of our support people. Those are typically headed up by Jordan Nelson. He is currently sick, so we weren't able to get him in here today.
Oh, no. Is he going to be okay?
He's gonna be fine. Brendan's very concerned. Instead,
Oh, yeah. We have Steven Sampson. He's sitting there in my Populi show chair. He's one of our longtime support rascals.
Yeah, we actually prefer support ruffian, and you can tell because I muscled you out of your chair.
Stephen,
Yeah.
when is the next admissions focus session?
The next focus session will be March 14th, 2023, 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Steven, what normally happens in a admissions focus session?
Yeah, we try to cover the big picture of the admissions process, what leads are, how to think about them, how to run the funnel report, that sort of thing.
And are there any frequently asked questions in an admissions focus session, Stephen?
There are lots of frequently asked questions. Jordan will field things like how to embed an application on your website, why the student lands on an application gateway rather than the full application form itself, and used to be he would deal with things with conditional fields, although that will change.
Yeah, because we have those now.
Hey.
And Stephen, I understand we have focus sessions on other topics as well.
That's right. We've got 7 total topics that we go through. And if you want to see what those are, you can go to our knowledge base under the release notes and announcements area, and we'll actually throw a link down in the description as well.
Goodbye, Stephen. Now it's time for a time-honored tradition. It's our segment, Brendan and Josh Show You a Snack. At Populi, we eat, and maybe you'll be able to imagine what it's like in these hallowed halls if you see a snack. Brendan, what snack do you have today?
Well, Josh, today I've got the Kirkland Signature Trail Mix. One problem is this thing, like half the weight in this little satchel is raisins. Disgusting little grape corpses with no nutritional value. So when I open one of these, I separate all the raisins out, and then I actually keep a pair of laying hens in my office, and I feed them the raisins. They in turn lay eggs, and I either sell them, make a tidy little profit, or I keep them for my own consumption because have you seen the price of eggs lately?
I have.
Out of control.
Today, I've brought a protein-packed crunchy granola bar, and I've never had one. I have a mild peanut sensitivity, but someday. Okay, just a few days ago, we added a few new features. You might see these as you're adding an assignment. Brendan, what are they?
So we've got a couple new checkboxes. One is called pass-fail. So that turns the assignment from something that you grade with a letter or a number into a strange and forbidding assignment type with 2 grading options. Can you guess what those are?
Well, pass-fail.
Wrong, Josh. Technically, the grading options will reflect whatever's in your school's pass-fail grade scale, which for most schools will be pass and fail. But some schools have run pretty wild with their pass-fail grade scales. I saw one this morning that had 8 different options. 5 were passing and 3 were failing, but this is just one pass-fail grade scale. At any rate, that's what you'll see in your pass-fail assignments.
Brendan, what is the other checkbox when you're adding an assignment that's brand new?
I think it's a drop-down. It says fries, onion rings.
No, Brendan, it's mandatory pass. Brendan, here's what that does. It allows us to set a specific assignment here as something that somebody must pass or they fail the course.
So faculty could put that down on their final exam. If you flunk the final exam, you flunked the course.
No matter what how your actual grade calculations work out, you're done.
Wow, that's harsh.
Many of our users do online lectures and other video-based meetings in Zoom, and we have an integration with Zoom that helps them manage that. But Zoom has gone and upset this delicate balance. Is that right, Brendan?
Sadly, Josh, you are correct. Zoom is deprecating its JWT apps, replacing them with server-to-server OAuth apps.
What app now?
If we're being honest, I have no idea what half the words in that sentence mean. JWT, for instance, is an abbreviation for JSON Web Token. It's an abbreviation that contains an abbreviation.
And what does JSON stand for?
I don't know. It's probably abbreviations all the way down. Anyway, JWT apps are how Populi connects with Zoom, but starting on June 1st, 2023, a few months from now, they won't work anymore.
Brendan, that's terrible news.
Not really, because here at Populi, we try and stay ahead of the game. We've already updated the integration to make use of the server-to-server OAuth version, and I have, of course, updated the documentation already.
Is there anything our users need to do?
Our customers need to make sure that they update their Zoom integrations, which should be pretty easy. We have an article that goes through all the steps. It's got pictures, and best of all, you've linked it in the show notes in the description.
I have done that. And speaking of done, we're all finished here. That's it for this edition of the Populi Show. Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
And thank you for watching. Bye.